What up, y'all? So I'm gonna be reacting to More Flacco or whoever this guy is. More Flacco and his Tommy Sotomayor has lost all his fans after this collab with Racist video, and I'm gonna be doing a live reaction to it. So let me just get right, and then I'll get right into it. So I've really seen some of this guy Flacco's videos or whatever pop up on my feed, but I don't follow this dude. So,
are you insane, sir? Look at the statistics. Look at the facts.
So let's get into this, man.
White folks make up what, like 59% of the population? Over like 76% of the child porn charges being in possession of CSAM.
Oh, shit.
Sotomayor and Jake Shields sat down and they discussed black folks.
Talking about CSAM.
Now, Jake Shields is like one of
the worst type of
violent white
sin
supremacists I probably has ever seen online. Probably him and Sean Strick. They're just violently white supremacists. So Thomas Sotomayor, who don't have the best track record when talking about black women, when he said,
this is true. Tommy Sotomayor does not have the best track record when talking about black women, and I feel like that is going to diminish a lot of the good points he makes, because at the end of the day, Tommy Sotomayor is always going to be known as just a coon. You can immediately dismiss what he says just because you feel me, you a coon, like, so that's tough, you know.
Down with Jake Shields, we already suspect what's going to happen.
Jake Shields.
Now, let's see.
Jake Shields. I don't know who Jake Shields is. Is that a YouTuber? I'm guessing he's like a YouTuber. I don't know. Jake Shields is a mixed martial artist. Okay, I don't know.
The malarkey that they engaged now. A lot
never
of
heard
people
of him.
are angry about this sit down and what was discussed.
Maybe he's a legend and I just don't know it. So maybe it says something about
I
it.
want to talk about black culture, and I talk about how the degradation of blacks. And
okay, my question is this, okay? There are so many places to talk about black culture at. Why do this with Jay Shields? There are so many, you can talk about black culture at the Breakfast Club. I need to find my daughter.
Oh, you're gonna have to excuse this. You're gonna have to excuse me on this one. It was wrong for putting that ad in there like that. Like, I didn't just watch that.
Dialogue, jumpers, not black, but academic. You can talk about black culture in so many places. Why choose to sit down with a white supremacist to critique black folks? That's what I don't understand.
Where it was taught.
I feel like you should be able to. Well, you have to speak to these people. You have to speak to a white supremacist about black culture, because their understanding of black culture is going to be fucked up. It's going to be skewed. So if you can really reach them on a human level, you might be able to get through somewhere if you're a good speaker and if you can present yourself well. So I think you should be able to talk to anybody about almost anything. You said Breakfast Club, you said some other shit. They've been talking about black culture on those platforms for years and has not accomplished a damn thing. So I think you should be able to talk about that shit anywhere. And it's not anywhere, but especially to a white supremacist, you kind of have to holler at them, because a white supremacist doesn't see black people as people. So why would you not introduce them to aspects of black culture that everyone can relate to?
And I talked about, as a matter of fact, I went out and did a movie called The Fatherless American, which you can get on Amazon Prime, but I did it.
I'll watch that because The Fatherless is the hugest, in my opinion, probably the single biggest issue of blacks. Not the only issue, but probably the single biggest issue.
It is the single biggest issue, and that's what I've been pointing out since I talked about how the destruction of the patriarchy and the uplifting of the matriarchy has been a problem, and it is a problem that you can point out where it's caused issues when it comes to the children, the dropout rate, the great, I would say, and molestation rate of what happens to the girls. All these things can be personally aligned with a lack of fatherhood in the household. So we should talk about them. I would think if they want to see black people get better, they would talk about parts of the problem that.
See, I can't really argue against
We
this.
can't fix it if we talk about it. I get called for racist when we have these discussions. This is something actually new.
Yo, their idea of talking about now, Tommy, I'll be real, bruh. Me and Tommy is on cordial. We good. We DM something from my time to time. Tommy, I'm disappointed in you. Jay Shields has literally blamed all the problems in America on black folks.
I don't know anything about Jake Shields. I'm just gonna reiterate that. I don't know what he says. So
When they say, "Oh, we can't fix it unless we talk about it," their definition of talking about it is, "Hey, these black folks don't deserve to live among us. They're violent. These black folks are causing all these issues. Why do we have to live around these black folks? America's a white country." Their definition of talking about it is saying America is a white nation that black folks don't belong in, and black folks are the problem.
see, I'm gonna give it to Flacco because it looks like he's on stream. When you say things like that, you definitely have to come with good receipts because we've seen like if you're a person and you're going against specific narratives, it's easy for people to say that you're just racist or you're just this and this that when you're bringing up issues and you have data for them. So I would want to see more from this. I can't just take this at face value.
That's not a good faith discussion, right? That's just reiterating white supremacist talking points. So why are we talking about black issues with white supremacy?
I've also never heard what Jake Shields said, so that also has to be taken into consideration because Jake Shields could be saying some shit that is just completely inaccurate and exposes a negative viewpoint of black people. So I don't know what is going on right now.
There's a lot of things to be fixed in the black community. There's a lot of things to be fixed in the white community. There's a bunch to be fixed in the Asian community. There's a bunch to be fixed in the Mexican community. Why y'all don't sit down and talk about what needs to be fixed in the white community? Why y'all don't sit down and talk about what needs to be fixed in the Mexican community? Why y'all don't sit down and talk about what needs to be fixed in any other community? Why is y'all hot button issue the black community? What about us have y'all so freaking obsessed? I'm confused.
A new topic I'm talking with you black guys trying to understand where the problems come from, and I'm probably going to get labeled
Jake
racist,
Shields
but
fight
I'm not gonna fix
back
something.
podcast.
You know what? I've noticed there's
Jake
a lot
Shields
of gay black
fight
men.
back
I think there's a
podcast.
lot of black men who are leftist kids because that's most gay people are. You're not supposed to say that. You can't say that. That's probably true. They get buried.
Sir, are you crazy? Are you insane? Sir, look at the statistics. Look at the facts. White folks make up what, like 59% of the population? Over like 76% of the child court charges being in possession of CSAM is white folks. White folks disproportionately are arrested for CSAM charges than anybody else.
That is true. That is true. The motherfuckers are sick.
White folks are disproportionately arrested for SA charges over anybody else. White folks, white men in particular, are
I have to let him say that because I don't know about that statistic. Sexual assault. I don't know.
disproportionately arrested for rape than anybody else. White folks are
Alright, let's. We're gonna look it up word for word. We're gonna look that up. White people are not disproportionately charged with rape relative to the shared source. Relative to the shared according to U.S. general population. According to the data from agencies like the Bureau of Justice, white individuals account for roughly 60% of the U.S. population, making up proportionately or slightly lower percentage of all the rest for violent crimes, including rape and sexual assault. white arrestees. Data from FBI Bureau of Justice show that white individuals represent roughly 46% or less than the total arrests of violent crimes like rape and assault, which is below or close to their total population percentage. And I just don't even understand what I just read. But from what I'm getting is they're just not disproportionately. I mean, it says 60%. So I mean, I'm not the smartest fucking guy. No, it says 60% of the U.S. population. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this country is majority white, and I would imagine that they probably have a lot of arrests for rape. But I'm not gonna do all this. I'm just gonna let him rock with that one. He's gonna have to take that one on the chin. I'm not smart enough to advocate for your position, man.
Disproportionately arrested for charges targeting children over anybody else.
I do know that stat though.
If any
That is a funny
community
one.
have an issue with children being targeted or kids being turned out like through molestation, it's the white community. What are you talking about? How is that a black issue? See, that's the problem here, bro. These folks have a lot of issues in their community, but they refuse to discuss it. They will put their issues on us. Now you can talk about the violence. Okay, we can have that discussion. Not with you there, though. With among ourselves.
I mean, you would have to address that too, because they got that little 1350, so they're gonna bring that up. So eventually, you're gonna have to cross that bridge. So I don't even know why he feel like Jake Shields isn't supposed to be there, or I don't. That shit don't even matter to me.
But to say that black folks got a problem with touching kids, is you crazy? Do you not know who you are? Do you not know the consistency? Y'all bring
I don't know
up the
anything
stats
about
when it's
that.
convenient, but then y'all ignore when it's not convenient. Claiming that black folks got a problem with homosexuality and kids being touched. Oh, then you done lost your mind, bro. Look at the stats. White folks are disproportionately arrested, charged, and convicted for nasty crimes. Is you crazy?
On that way, but then when you ask them about a trauma in their life, someone messed with them when they were young. I gave the analogy to vampires. How do you make new vampires? No vampires got to bite a human and turn that human. And if you look at what they're doing, a lot of the gays are big on trying to be around your children, be inside of schools. Why? They got to get them young. You get them young, then you turn them into what they are, because they can't just they can't reproduce other gays. So if they're proud gays, how is it that they can't reproduce anymore?
No, exactly. And I don't hate gay people. You shouldn't be proud of it. It's clearly against the natural order of God. You can't have children. If everyone's gay, society is going to collapse. So it's making something prideful and push. I think it's disgusting. Do I hate these people? No. I actually have sympathy for them. Especially, I think talking about the fact a lot of work will make you more sympathetic. But instead, they yell at you and be like, shut up, you can't say that. It gave me more sympathy when I saw the statistics. My God, these poor people.
Thank you. The statistics should matter. And you've been a fighter and a high-level fighter. How did you deal with if you lost? One of the first things you had to do was go back and see what you did wrong. Imagine how far you would have gotten in your field if you refused to watch the tape.
Yep. A lot of guys, what they do want to blame their coaches and fire the coach and jump to a new team instead of, and sometimes too, as the coach or partially the coach, but it's also look at yourself. One out there, I might go next act, make myself better. Perfectly, that's what black people clearly have. It's not racist to say that people say racist.
Yo, listen, bro. Can you imagine how great the world would be if the white nationalists and white supremacists looked in the mirror and says, how can I be better? Can you imagine how drastically different and better off the world would be if white supremacists looked in the mirror and says, yo, let's look at our history, man, and figure out where we can go wrong. Let's look at the 400 years of history of oppressing minorities and say, you know what, man, let's maybe change that. Let's maybe treat people how we want to be treated, right? Let's maybe open up this country and be a welcoming home for all minorities. Maybe let's do that.
A welcoming home for all minorities. He lost me on that one. For all minorities? There's not a single person we're gonna turn down. Everybody is a law-abiding citizen now, and we're just gonna welcome them all into the country. No, I would never agree with that. I mean, I do think that, you feel me, they gotta do something about illegal immigration. Can't just let everybody into this bitch. So,
I mean, let's not elect the president, elect a VP, empower Stephen Miller to get elected to represent all Black Americans or all Americans in general, white Americans, Black Americans, whatever. Let's not elect an administration to represent all people, but yet that administration is filled with people claiming this is a white country and blacks don't belong. Can you?
he would have to. You gotta have to show me that, man, because I don't think Trump ever said no shit like that. So I could be wrong. The White House made an official statement or a little dog whistle or some shit. But I don't know. I think that's just hysterics. That's hysterics right there.
Imagine if these folks looked in the mirror and took their own advice, how better off the world would be. Man, bro, you better cut it out, man.
The problem is never going to fix. Well, white man racist, white man racist. Maybe it's true, but is it going to fix anything?
No, and it is funny that you say that. You said blacks have a problem, and it's clearly everybody knows. If you say it as a liberal, you will get championed and they will applaud you because you have to say it this way. Blacks can't help the situation they're in. Someone put them in that position, and it's usually us racist whites, and we have to flog ourselves and ask them for forgiveness for our racist ways, because if it worked for us, they would be in a better spot, which isn't true a lot.
Tommy, what? Yo, saying this is completely rejecting history. Okay? Yo, do you think, and Tommy, this is just me like asking you a real question, bro, okay? Do you think that white folks and other races are just so much better, so much smarter, so much more profound that they were able to build wealth honestly to an extreme advantage over black folks the right way? Do you feel like the wealth gap is so large because white folks are just that much better at building wealth than black folks? Do you feel like the wealth gap is this large and the quality of life is this large among white and black folks because white folks are just that much better at building than black folks? Or do you feel like
that is like an example of a loaded question? That's a question that you're not even supposed to answer. How do you answer that question? That is like three questions in one. And then he said, "Do you feel like?" So he's giving you alternative answers to a loaded question, and you get to pick your favorite answer.
We started off on unequal footing. Or do you feel like Jim Crow, slavery, post-Jim Crow, and the system that was created to keep black folks down has something to do with it, right? So before you can address all the current issues and the consequences of their actions, can we address their actions first?
That's funny because a lot of people just like assume that like black folks started with slavery, but we have a whole history from before then. So we're not going to address any of that shit either. You feel me? We're not going to address prehistory. Like, we're not going to address when we were selling ourselves, our enemies in Africa. Like, we're not going to address those times and what those people were doing back then. Like, so, you feel me? That's just, you want to talk about Jim Crow so bad. You feel me? You're not going to talk about any of the slavery that happened anywhere else in the world around that time or before that time.
Can we address how black folks got to where they are? Can we address it? Now, y'all point to the Jewish people and say, yo, they were in the ghettos too. They got an entire nation to themselves. Give black folks their own country and see what happens.
I'm pretty sure what the fuck is Liberia? What is Liberia? What the fuck is Liberia? Liberia is a country in West Africa bordering Sierra Leone, Guinea, and I can't even. On the Atlantic coast. It is the capital city on Monrovia and is home to Liberia National Museum, which is exhibits on national culture. Word. Official language is English. President is Joseph Boakai. It looked like that. Liberian dollar. State of independence. Joseph Jenkins Roberts is the first president. It is Africa's oldest republic and has a population of about 5.5 million. Hold on. I gotta go back because I just seen that question right there. Is Liberia still an American territory? Liberia is not and has never been an American territory. It is independent and sovereign republic. Founded in 1821 by the American Colonization Society. Wow, this is fucking crazy. That's a crazy name. It was a private settlement for freed African Americans, not officially U.S. government territory. Liberia declared itself independent and free nation on July 26th, 1847, excuse me. So, what the fuck is Liberia, man?
For fuel. They are doing their own damage, and even the blacks that are in America's so racist. Why is it that blacks in other countries are trying to compete, and they come here and succeed? Black people from Africa leave, make more money than white people here. Yeah, right there, kind of like those people that exclude those at the bottom. They don't want to share those people. Because if you're not a victim from a young age,
Nigerians are killing it. We do know that. They're going up.
And succeed. Black people from Africa leave, make more money than white people here. Yeah, right there, kind of like when I saw those statistics, like exclude those at the bottom.
Which is just, it's just cute. Yo, listen, bro. Y'all are, listen. The immigration process works like this. Y'all, are allowing the best of the best to come here. Right? Now, dump all of Africa in America and see how those numbers get skewed. But if you guys...
What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Dump of all Africa? What are you talking about? What the fuck was that? Dead ass.
Yo, listen, bro. Y'all are, listen. The immigration process works like this.
The immigration process works like this.
Y'all
are allowing the best of the best.
Are allowing the best of the best to come here.
To come here, right? That fucking makes sense. That doesn't make sense. Yo, we want C tier to come here? Look, God figgy miss here, man. Look at his face. We want C tier to come here? We want D tier to come here in this country? Is anyone comfortable with that? We want any degenerate, any fucking bum back in his own country to come here with no skills to just be a taxi driver? A janitor? Or are we recruiting like we always do? Like we do with our football teams, like we do with everything. We always take the best of the best. Even the fucking the fucking Nazi scientists after World War II. We got them niggas. I don't give a damn. Those guys are fucking rocket scientists. Yes, pick them up. Make them disappear into the fucking government somewhere, into a shadow organization. I don't know, but we need those guys. Let's collect them. That makes fucking sense to me.
Right? Now, dump all of Africa in America and see how those numbers get skewed. Dump all of Africa in America and see how those numbers get skewed.
What the fuck was that? Yo, hold on. What the fuck was that? Okay. Because he said Africa. What is... What is the population of Africa? 1.5 billion people. So we're going to dump 1.5 billion people and see how the numbers get skewed.
But if you guys are only allowing people on, let's say, student visas, right? Or let's say work visas, right? If you guys are allowing less black immigrants from, let's say, Africa, or let's say the Caribbean, or anywhere else, right? Y'all are allowing people to come here on student visas who are currently doing advanced studies. Okay. Y'all are allowing advanced workers like doctors and nurses to come here. Cool. then wouldn't naturally, if you guys are filtering in those people and only allowing them to come over here, wouldn't that just naturally mean that those people will automatically just start off on a different level economically than anybody else? Because the people you guys are allowing here are coming for advanced degrees and are coming already in advanced career paths. So no, those.
What the fuck was that? Yo, he could never say that to another person's face. Like, why is it that he has to be so pro-black American that he's putting down those people who are coming here? Because no, just because you're in an advanced degree does not mean you come from a background that has any money at all. He's fixing his lips. Look at his lips. He's fixing his lips to say some more bullshit.
People will be doing great, but that does not take away from the systematic oppression of everybody else.
What do you mean everybody else? The systematic oppression of the other black people who's not doing the advanced degrees. You feel me? Or is he talking about the systematic oppression of the Spanish people who aren't doing the advanced degree?
It just doesn't, right? And the refugees who do come here,
yeah,
they come here with stipends, they come here with packages, free housing, right? Free food, money every month, business grants and loans. So they're being presented, and automatically they're being presented with an advantage already than the person who was born here who starts off poor.
Okay, so like, what are you? So because of that, right? Because they started, wouldn't you want to do something about immigration then? Wouldn't you want to do that? Because I want to do that. I think you're right in a sense. They are starting off with better advantages and more opportunities and grants and stuff that we don't apply for. You know, they can just be on mass health or whatever they want to be on. They don't have to worry about healthcare. I'm constantly getting kicked off because I'm making, you know, based on what position I am, I'm making just above the threshold or way beyond the threshold. So, you feel me? I have to go and find other privatized healthcare, and it's expensive, and you know, I don't know. Like, I mean, what the fuck is? If you said this, and you was the same color as Jake Shields, we'd be calling you racist. But I don't even think that's what you're saying. I just think you're trying to defend black people so much that you're actually just putting down other races.
So if the people coming over here are already coming over here with advanced degrees and advanced career paths,
how are they coming over here with advanced degrees already? They're on an advanced career path. It's not an advanced degree. You come over here and get your degree.
Those who don't are they're being handed advanced degrees and advanced career paths, then no duh, those people will be at a different economic level.
So then it comes down to like, yo, black people aren't being handed advanced degrees, enhanced. Like what scholarships aren't you getting? You know.
But that does not take away from everything else. It just doesn't.
They don't want your list either. Because if you're taught a victim from a young age, how devastating is that? If I was like a black person and a black child, I would be right from a young age, I would teach my kid, you are not a victim, you are not a victim, this does not drive you down. If you're telling someone you're a victim, how are you going to succeed?
When you look at things like, I know the listening news now, the Daniel Penny case. Daniel Penny, what happened with him, you had a black guy that was dealing with mental issues, and that happened a lot in the black community. But no one deals with it. I've been black my whole life, shockingly enough to a lot of people. I've been black 49 years, my birthday was just yesterday. Therefore, I have seen, and I can't speak for all blacks, but I can speak for what I've seen. And I noticed that the mentally ill do not get discussed. We think it's a white thing to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. That kid
that's
that
true.
was trained.
From my experiences, I can say that that's true. And maybe that is a detriment, but as soon as you go to a psychiatrist or something, they put you on them pills, and your ass is officially fried. As soon as you get on them pills, we're not really taking anything you say seriously at all, because you're on them fucking pills.
Threatened to kill everyone. His family wasn't there. It did nothing.
Yeah, no, okay, but mental health is a big issue in our community. But mental health is not the reason why the wealth gap is the way it is. Mental health is not the reason while black folks are being shot and killed in the streets. Mental health is not the reason why these systems were created to put us in our place. It's not. So yeah, the mental health is important.
So this person is a person who really believes in the system holding people down. You're not going to shake his belief that this entire country is out to get him. And that's sad. That's exactly what Tommy's talking about. That's exactly what Jake Shield is talking about. You think the entire country, there's not even a single part of this fucking, the three branches of government that is kind of has a neutral position on you? Not even a hostile position, but a neutral position?
But that has nothing to do with what y'all are talking about.
Let me get him help. And yet they're the main ones out there now saying this shouldn't have happened.
Websites your country don't want you to know. Part two.
All you need is
Like, this motherfucker's, he's up on that, bro. Like, I gotta watch the YouTube ads. When's the last time this motherfucker watched YouTube
needs to handle their mental illness. Asians, Mexicans, Hispanics, everybody is, this is not an issue just for black folks.
Yes, 100%, that's what I was going with. So why weren't they there when he needed their help? And it's not just him. Almost every one of these stories you hear, it's about some mental conditions that the black person was going through. George Floyd, he was having a mental break, and you can see where his life was. Sandra Bland, same thing. And yet these people's family did nothing to help them or to mitigate the situation that they were in. How many stories have you heard?
I can almost guarantee, bro, that mental health ain't the reason why Derek Chauvin kneeled on George Floyd's neck and murdered him. Mental health had nothing to do with it. Derek Chauvin was the mentally ill one. Derek Chauvin was the one who had a mental illness. Derek Chauvin did not like black people. They spoke to numerous people from Derek Chauvin's past. Derek Chauvin had a documented history and problem with black folks, black co-workers, black employees, right? Black associates. He had a documented issue with black folks. He was a violent person. Even at his security job, he was a violent person. So Derek Chauvin becoming an officer and murdering somebody on camera was just the path he was on. It has nothing to do with mental illness, right? But
I can't speak to Derek Chauvin like that, but if you do, then you feel me? That's the type of police that they're hiring. Fuck it.
But that's the reason why I believe as well. It's hard to have these discussions with people like this because Jay Shields will utilize the mental health thing as an excuse for why black folks are being victimized. If you had that discussion with someone like Jay Shields, he will see Cyan Massey getting shot and killed in her kitchen and say, hey, listen, she was a crazy woman. She was crazy. There's mental health. She was shot and killed because these officers, they had a mental illness.
Are you talking about the lady who threw like the boiling pot of water? And they shot her?
Killed with someone like Jay Shields, he will see Cyan Massey.
I think you're talking about the lady who threw that boiling pot of water. Murder. Unarmed black woman murdered by Sean Grayson, a 30-year-old white deputy of the Sangamore County Police Sheriff's Office in Woodside Township near Springfield, Illinois, in the United States. Massey had called 911 about a prowler in her house. So as deputies requested Massey give her any immediate searching for the situation. When Massey removed a boiling pot of water for herself after Grayson asked for his removal, said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Wow. He asked her to remove it, which is really the thing right here. Massey lifted the pot up and said twice, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Jason agreed that he would fucking shoot her right in the fucking face and drew his service pistol. Macy apologized and ducked behind the counter, then shot her 3 times with one shot in the head. So he got fired from the sheriff's office and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder on July 17th. He claimed self-defense at his trial. So, found him guilty on second-degree murder charges. He was given the life sentence of 20 years in prison. January. Oh, this year, earlier this year. Wow. Wow. I saw that video. Autopsy to be a homicide. Massey was shot between her left eye, shot beneath her left eye. The bullet exited the back of her neck. It caused a skull fracture and pierced her carotid artery. It caused bleeding into her brain. Therefore, it also appeared a minor blunt force injuries to her right leg. Wow. So she was on meds, dog. That's crazy.
Getting shot and killed in her kitchen.
She was on mental
meds. She was crazy. That's mental health. She was shot and killed because these officers, they had a mental illness. They hate black people. George Floyd was murdered. Has nothing to do with mental illness. Right? But you can't have these discussions with these people because they're so bad faith, man.
Call the police on their own child. The police come not knowing that they're dealing with a mental case. This guy's walking out with a knife or a gun. They kill him. Then the mother turns around and says they did it because of racist. But you're the mother. Why did you call 911 with your own child?
Yeah, George Floyd, that's when I was behind this business over years. And then they're suing, crying, you didn't go see your kid. Now you're going to victim. That's part of the problem. Seeing your kid.
I'm gonna give them a pass because the mental health thing in our community is bad. I know personal examples of times where you have to call 911 or there's going to be internal violence in the house. You know, it's going to be an all-out war, a bloodbath within the house.
Excuses. Always cases when that man ran out of car, got knife out of the car and shot. Is it too bad? Not to things always good. I think I should put his neck on his knee.
You're not going to give Jake Shields this, man? You're not going to give him this?
I do choke for them. The choke? That's a choke.
I'm not going to give him that?
This is a real B&H customer store.
You're not going to give Jake Shields that, man?
Yep. I should be trained that, so I'm not giving nothing but like, I remember you got that.
Here's the thing. The cops should be trained better. We all say cops should be trained better. But if blacks believe that white cops are so horrible, why do they don't raise their children to grow up to be cops? Why do they don't raise their children to be lawyers? Why do they don't raise their children to be doctors? Why do they don't bring their children to be judges? All these things they do.
We hate black cops, man. We call them coons, sellouts. We hate black police. That's what I know. You're not gonna tell me shit. What about that cop from the 20v1? What is his name? He did a 20v1, man. They hated him.
That blacks are being affected by. The one thing I show respect.
Call him everything other than a child of God.
What? Is their children? White cops are so horrible. Why do they don't raise their children to grow up to be cops? Why do they don't raise their children to grow up to be lawyers?
Wait, pause, bro. If black folks don't raise their kids up to be cops and lawyers, what do they do? What? Do you understand how many black cops there are? Do you know how many black lawyers? What are you talking about? They outnumber us, so no duh. The entire police force.
Yeah, but we celebrate that. We celebrate that. We celebrate black cops. You have the Blue Lives Matter. You think Blue Lives Matter? Get the fuck out of here. This guy's bad. You think Blue Lives Matter, gang?
Yo, listen, Tommy, bro. You, Tommy, man, you had an opportunity, bro, to sit in front of Jake Shields and put us some straightening. What do you mean? I'm so confused, bro. Bro, what do you mean black folks don't raise their kids to be officers and lawyers and doctors? What are you talking about? So what do black folks do? So what do we raise our kids to be then, Tommy?
Yo, my personal family, they didn't even want me to go into the military. They didn't. They wanted me to go, if I was going to go into the military, you're allowed to go to the Coast Guard. You know, that's about it.
Doctor, why do they don't bring their children to be judges? All these things they believe that blacks are being affected.
Oh, what was the judge we called Clarence Thomas? We respect Clarence Thomas. We like Clarence Thomas over here. We praise him. We tell our kids to be like Clarence Thomas.
One thing I show respect to Jews for was every place they felt like they were being mistreated, they infiltrated that place so they would be hostile.
And that particular group went behind the
Yes.
slave trade, and some of the media telling them to come, and BLM, etc.
Yeah, imagine this. I can tell you that you're a dog, you have dog hair, you're alien, you can actually all this stuff on national television, and I not be canceled because you're white, and white man must take whatever I say.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Fan. People were, listen, people were being deported from the United States for having a bad thing to say about Charlie Kirk. Do you understand that kids on student visas were being deported from the United States by Marco Rubio for saying they don't believe that Charlie Kirk was a good person?
That's all they said? That's all they said? They don't believe Charlie Kirk is a good person? That's all they said? Or they said it was okay for Charlie Kirk to be murdered?
Since when? Since when could you just openly criticize white folks? Nigga, what? Yo.
We can't? We can't? What, bro? Niggas just said he had dog hair.
Somebody wrote
That's a crazy insult. That is a unique insult.
Newspaper about Donald Trump and Netanyahu and got deported for criticizing non-white folks. Is you crazy?
Yeah, what? I could spit on Netanyahu. I could say that. I could spit on Netanyahu. What? I could say I wish Netanyahu has a heart attack. What? I could say anything I want about Netanyahu. You can say anything you want about Netanyahu.
Hey, bro.
You can say anything you want about Netanyahu in almost any space, and you're automatically given a pass because Israel's bad. Not knowing that there is Israelis, and I've seen them before, like kind of duck down and stuff like that, just because they have to sit there and take it.
We gonna stop here. Yo, hey, listen, tell Tommy, let's get it. We gonna stop here and we're gonna do part 2 to this. So I'm gonna do part 2 to this, okay?
Bro said he's gonna debate Tommy or whatever. His whole shit was clickbait, bro. Look at this. Look at this clickbait. This is terrible. Tommy Sotomayor lost all his fans after Collab. No, he didn't.
Are you insane?
I was just in Tommy's. Who did he lose? Tommy is another one of the things they're going to accept him like that officer guy. No, there's not. Tommy is still around. Yes, Tommy is still around. Tommy didn't go anywhere. He didn't lose a single fan. Man, I don't know, man. This dude Flacco, man, he's got it figured out. You feel me? He's got it figured out. Unless you think like him, you're not a real black person, gang. You gotta think like Flacco, man. He got it all figured out, dog. Tommy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Tommy's not even 50% right, man. 100% wrong, Tommy is. But I don't know. People like Thomas Sowell, you feel me? People who's older than Flacco, who lived through a lot of this shit, especially the civil rights movement. They don't got it figured out. You feel me? They didn't see this shit in real time. They didn't know what life was like before civil rights. So those opinions, garbage. Flacco's opinion, super fire. And that's all I gotta say, man. When he does a part 2, maybe I'll do a part 2. But yeah, I wasn't feeling his takes. I had a lot to say. I had a lot of clapbacks. I had to let Jake Shields and Tommy run their thing because at the end of the day, that's their show. They chose to go on this dude's show. He said they had an opportunity to give some pushback to a known racist like Jake Shields. I don't know Jake Shields. I don't know what Jake Shields said that was racist, but you could put that jacket on any white man in this country right now. You could put a racist jacket on him quick, and you feel me? He just has criticisms. You feel me? He don't give a fuck. Like, you feel me? A racist person is a person who hates you, not a person who's fucking like apathetic to you. You feel me? And then there's other people. You don't have to just focus on white people. There's Chinese people who say the same thing. Hawaiian people who say the same thing. I'm talking about that one YouTube video where a Hawaiian guy talks about the black culture and talks about how you feel me, we're perpetual victims. There's other races of people who went through similar things. We have Native Americans who went through their horrible extermination. We have Jews, we have Irish, we have Italians. So it's not just us. You feel me? It's not just you. Like, you're not special, bro. Like, you feel me? You gotta really look at that within your culture and be like, yo, you're really not special. For 400 years of slavery, you're not special. You feel me? There was slavery going on in the world during that period. There's slavery that's going on in the world after that period, and you not really talking about any of that. I understand. You feel me? You focused on black people, but even within the video, he wasn't talking down on, you feel me? He wasn't talking out the side of his mouth about people from other countries coming here with advanced degrees. What the fuck was that whole advanced degree bullshit? You feel me? A lot of those people do not have advanced degrees. They have a third world education. You feel me? They smart and went to a good school. And they come here and they're ready to work. And you feel me? Like, we're taking the best people from these countries because we should. Like, what? We should. That makes sense. Like, and he just was trying to play morality and play other fucking gay games. And he just needed to be straight up with himself. So that's the only thing I got to say, bro. Fuck it. Yeah, man. So that's the end of the video. Appreciate y'all. Feel me? Hopefully I can do another one when he does a part 2. I'll do a part 2, but fuck it. Enjoy yourselves.